Everybody, welcome back to the Mad Liberty Party, where up is down, left is right, and the rules don't matter because, well, we're all mad here. Um, Welcome back. This is another mic drops. I'm gonna give people a second to show up before I get to the dang point here, but I hope you guys are all doing well and everything like that. Um, I'm doing okay today. I thought about opening the window to let you guys see the beautiful nature that was back there since I still haven't gotten my backdrop back up yet. I've been kind of like dragging ass on that last little step there. So maybe tomorrow. This will probably be the last time you see my ugly ass white walls. But like when I did that, it made this giant halo around me like I was an angel coming down from heaven or something, and I thought that was highly inappropriate given what y'all know. My roommate is over there laughing about this. That's not funny. It's true, but it's not funny. How dare? How dare? No, I'm just. He managed to keep most of it in because he knows I'm live, and but I heard that. God damn it. Mm. Anyways, no, it is. It's highly inappropriate, and that's kind of funny. Sure, I give it to him. I'm not too mad. I hope you guys are having a good afternoon. I don't usually do mic drops this late in the evening, but I didn't actually like plan an episode with like an interview or anything like that today, so I figured I would just do mic drops and coffee breaks and stuff on just make sure that I do them on days that we don't have something scheduled like that. If it's a regular day. So that's what I'm doing here. Um this is not a super serious episode. I don't know exactly how constructive it is. I've been like in my free time talking to statists in mass, and it's just mind numbing. Um, I mean, like they're not all statists, but like some of them are statists, and it's been wild, interesting, tiring, and it kind of brings certain things to light that I don't normally have time to think about when I'm immersed in, I guess, like the free folk. When I go outside, I end up being like, oh god, this stuff again. So I thought today I would talk about, and I'll get to the point since there's a couple of y'all here, I guess, and I've been ambling on for 3 minutes straight. Um, so like, there's certain things that they stated that the statist political debater will do that just I don't know. It's like a bag of tricks, I guess, and they all have one, and they all like the majority of them will pull this one out at some point. But they want to debate with you about what your anarchist society would be like, your anarchist utopia. And I mean, I think that anybody who's been here for a little while knows that what we think about that utopia idea and how silly it is. But I got all ticked off at myself because the other day I kind of almost let myself get drawn into one of the oldest, tiredest, most ridiculous one, which is that whole, well, how would this work in your anarchist society? And I'm like, I don't know, however the fuck they feel like it should work over there. And like that, that really they want something specific. Um, it seems like they can't wrap their head around the fact that like everybody could possibly do something different. Um, and I'm like, usually I'm willing to like give them the benefit of the doubt and just assume that they're new here and they haven't done this before, but I strongly doubt that. Like it feels like they're jumping into gotcha you every time. And Uh, I try not to debate. There's a really good reason why I don't. I mean, I feel like my reason why I don't debate is pretty good. Mostly because it's a huge waste of time. It doesn't change anybody's minds. The only useful thing that I get out of debate is I can use it to hone my own ideas and the way that I express them at times if the other participants are, like decent adult human beings. or well, can behave that way, because I've met some younger folk who can, um, and some older folk who can't, but you know what I mean. But and I mean, like, if anybody is watching, like, if you're doing it on social media and people are reading it, people might learn something from it. So, like, I assume I'm never talking for the benefit of the person that I'm talking to when it gets to that point. If I actually engage like that, um, it's always for the benefit of the people who might see it. Otherwise, debate's largely worthless. Um, well, yeah, yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, like, just like Sasha here says, like, the purpose of debate is almost never to convert the person that you're debating with. It's to convert the audience that is watching. Yeah, that's basically it. Like, if I'm participating in it, that's the only reason why I'm going to participate in it at all. And I prefer conversation, just like chill, relaxed conversation about stuff. I'm not really interested in debate, whether it has format or not anymore. I kind of tired myself out on that, and it gets old. I think that at a certain point, I just lost my taste for it when I don't know. There was a certain point where I realized that arguing about it really doesn't solve anything. It didn't take me very long. Sometimes it takes people longer than others. Mm. Some people don't ever find out. Um, and I mean, like, I think that that kind of crowd has perpetuated this kind of response, where people will jump in and they'll be like, well, how are you going to this? How are you going to that? I'm not going to get into specifics or anything like that, because I've actually had somebody try and start this conversation with me, like, I think 8 or 9 times this week already, and we're only like halfway through it. Well, counting the weekend um prior. But, like, yeah. Um so so anyways, like, I have a list here that's supposed to keep me on track, and I'm not using it. I'm just moseying down the road with it. Let me pull that up so that I've got it here. Yes. All right. Well, also, the other thing that I dislike about debate is that, like, nobody really knows how to debate anymore. All they really know how to do is argue, and there is a big difference. If you ask me. I mean, like, one requires civility and actually letting people discuss and talk, and the other is, well, without those things completely. And people confuse the two on a regular basis. You can often find niche places that have a pretty good idea of how to keep that stuff. Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. How they want you to have an answer for every single thing. And I mean, I've found that there are certain ways with this, if you want to, like, address it, and you can participate and stuff with these kinds of debates, but if you participate the way they want you to and you let them drive, you'll be sitting there for 7 hours just answering question after question after question, and I've found that that's not particularly enjoyable, as well as the fact that, like, they're not actually listening. They're literally just trying to trip you up on something. You got to find I mean, like, everybody probably has their own style and everything like that, but I usually take it one of two directions. Like, either at the very beginning, I put a big clause on the whole discussion and explain to them flat out that most of the concepts that they're going to bring up, to like, if this is a utopian anarchist society, and, like, like, the majority of people are all chill with anarchism and everything, and we're all doing anarchism together, um a lot of these concepts that they're going to introduce are not going to be relevant to that kind of society. And then I fall back onto it. um it helps if you explain why it's not relevant, which doesn't take too long typically. But I mean, like, I like using the fallback one because, like, you set a basis at the beginning to be like, look, this is going to be completely different. I mean, you have to base it off of something completely different from what you've experienced because they have no concept. One of the problems out there that I've seen it and dealt with regularly is that once you get your mindset on an ideation, like a lot of people out there will not continue to educate themselves about other ideologies and stuff like that. So they know a lot about their shit and a very little bit about everybody else's shit. So, you end up asking stupid or irrelevant questions. And I mean, honestly, if you don't know what you're trying to debate against, you're never going to be good at it. And, you're never going to be able to teach the people who are watching you anything because you're going to look like a fool. But, I mean, I like doing the lean back thing. And then, the other thing that I will do is sometimes I'll just, like I'll just shoot it down at the very beginning. And I mean like that one of the things that I really wanted to talk about tonight is the fact that like let's be real. There's not going to be a overall anarchist society. There's just not. Um we're not going to like it doesn't even I mean like it wouldn't work that way. I don't feel like it would. I feel like there could be like a confederacy of anarchist communities or something of that nature, or like maybe like organization and stuff like that, sure, but like the way that they're describing it, they're like, like replace all government with anarchism and I just don't foresee that happening like ever. Or maybe at least not while I'm alive. I don't foresee that happening at all. Like I don't see that it's relevant that we have this kind of discussion, first off. And second off, like I've always been leaning towards this idea and eventually I got to where I was just like anarchists don't need an anarchist society. Like, as an anarchist, you live as an anarchist and you want other people to live as anarchists and be free and and do things with you and stuff like that. But um they don't have to and you don't need them to either. It gets harder. Like it'd be a hell of a lot easier if there were way more anarchists, I'm not going to lie. And that would be great, but you don't have to have them. Um, so when somebody, so it's gotten to the point where these days, like, I try to paint a picture of how alien that whole concept is to me. And, usually by the time I finish doing that, um, the gotcha people want to go. Some people stay because they're like, okay, well now I'm really curious. So how would you do this? And I mean like then we can have a conversation about it and stuff like that, but like that goes into more of like a speculative conversation wandering down a rabbit hole of what ifs because like even then you can't really know how this shit would go. And at least in that situation y'all aren't like trying to one up each other and waste some time. You're just trying to like imagine what people could do. In doing so you might come up with something constructive we could do now. But seriously, anarchists do not need an anarchist society or an anarchist state or even like a place. You know, we we would love to have a place where we could all be safe and shit like that. But like to be honest, most of us don't want to leave our homes. Like we want to stay where we are. We want to just be, like we don't need a society to make it okay for us to be anarchists. We just want to be left alone as anarchists. And I mean, this kind of brings for libertarians too, I suppose. They're just not, I mean, like, not, I mean, like, their argument in this situation for their libertarian utopia is a little bit different than ours. And it's a little bit more relevant to them than ours. Like they're minarchists and they could conceive of all sorts of things that they could do with their government, but we're kind of like we're not gonna we're not gonna have those, and so like you have no idea where how things are gonna be going over there as opposed to how they're gonna go here as opposed to how they're gonna go there. Like I mean, I can speculate from what I know about here as to how things might go if they went that way. I hope you guys are enjoying this because this is literally just like kind of like it's not really a normal mic drop. I'm not like offering a problem and a solution here. I'm just kind of like clearing my head about this debate, like, and how people are so obsessed with doing it. I think probably one of the reasons why people are into this debate, as I said, is because they don't understand um, but I think another large point of it is just, owning people is fun. We've gotten into this culture where you've got to own the libs or you've got to own the conservatives. Those fucking um headlines, like so and so destroys blah blah blah, and then you watch it and you're like, I don't get it. Why is this destroying? I don't what the fuck? It's over dramatic, but like everybody has fallen into that kind of mindset at this point. Um it's kind of like a lot of people who have gone online to become warrior, like online warriors. And I mean, like, there's a use for that stuff. I'm not trying to belittle people who actually try to spread information and education and stuff online. I'm one of them. Um, but it's like these people feel like they can actually win an actual battle if they can win one against someone who believes something they don't believe in or on the other team or whatever. And I think that us being just inexplicably anarchist in front of people and doing our shit and around our stuff and just kind of like showing people what we do and how we are is far more powerful than these debates at this point. Um, because at this time, it feels like even the people who go to watch and like are in the chats and everything like that discussing these debates that people are having out there, or the ones who are actually sitting there watching, they're the ones that are invested in it. They've already heard all this shit. Like, what's the fucking point? Unless you're like some big fancy schmancy YouTuber, and I'm not. And like the video of your debate might reach like like hundreds of thousands of people, like, or even thousands. Like, I'm not gonna reach thousands of people with any of my debates right now. They're not gonna really reach anybody but the people who are interested in hearing one versus the other, and I can guarantee you they at least have an inkling of what's being talked about. It's just it's really tiring. I get really tired of talking to statists about the same goddamn thing, and I really wish they come up with some other tactics, because at least then I could learn something from it. Because like at this point, I don't even need to practice this fucking game in futility. Like, don't get too offended if you're one of the people out there who likes to sit around with other anarchists and imagine what it would be like. There's nothing wrong with that. That's like having a lottery plan. Just don't waste too much time on it, because like it'll never be like that. Um I don't think it'll ever be like that in our lifetimes, but if we don't make steps towards it, it'll never be that way anyways. Um But in the meantime, like, there are so many ways to be free just in your daily lives. We don't have to be out there actively defying the state all the time. That's not denying the state. That's not living free. That's hyper focusing on it and giving it power, and in our lives, giving our lives to it. And I'm not saying we shouldn't be giving them hell, because we definitely should be, but I don't know. I think that there's a difference between focusing on trying to find ways we can be freer as a society and just going out there and yelling about it. We can't hyper focus on just one. You gotta do both. That's what I'm trying to say here. Good lord, this is a rambly one. Um, and it's kind of long. I'm sorry, y'all. But yeah, no, I just wanted to do like a mental blurb today. It's kind of like a mic vlog. Some of these mic drops are do sometimes tend to be that way because like I was just like I should really talk about something, and yesterday I had like a straw in the camel's back situation where I was just like, man, maybe I should just talk about how annoying and tiring this is and how we really shouldn't engage in this particular debate. I think that our refusal to debate, to engage in this kind of debate and an explanation as to why says way more than actually participating in it at all. So, I hope I got that idea across. I was kind of going around and around. Yet again, I made that list. I looked directly at it most of the time, and I didn't follow it in order. I kind of bounced around. That might be my bad. But yeah, really, I'm sure that each and every a lot of you have had that shit. Anarchy yesterday, anarchy today, and anarchy forever. Yeah, that's how it should be though. We shouldn't have to go out and push this. I always have this like, oh, wait, hold. Before I start closing, I have this thought process that I sometimes share, and it's relevant to this. And now that I'm, 20 minutes in, I'm going to remember it and tell everybody. So basically, there's this, oh no, my brain went blank. You're not going to explain yourself. You're just me, and that's it. Well, I mean, yes, that's exactly how it should be. And I'm trying to fish violently for the line of thought I was going on because when I stopped to explain what I was going to do, I distracted myself, and I haven't even smoked a bunch of weed or anything. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry, and this is a relevant one. Crap. I want to share this thought process, and it's like just below the surface here. Um, basically, when we yeah, it's all y'all's fault. I'm gonna blame it on y'all. Um, sorry, I have not a clue where my brain went. I might have to just pop up and add this in later. But the whole thing is that we can we live as anarchists every day, or you're not actually an anarchist. Like, we shouldn't be spending all our time in fear of the state. We should be going around acting as if the state doesn't exist, um, or that it has no power. I prefer that I just deny the power of the state all the time. Like, we defy it whenever it comes around, whenever we see it doing bad shit, like we would do anything else in any other situation. But I think in their mindset, we have got. Oh, that's what it is. I found it. Holy shit, I found my happy thought. Anyways, so the whole thing is like we end up being trapped having to participate in this broken political system that we have, right? And I feel almost like I have this theory where I feel like people are basically they feel like they have to because the way that our country is run and the way that things are going, to a lot of people it seems like in order to live the way that you think that you I mean that you decide that you want to live, you have to actually change everything on a larger scale. And they put that mindset in our, like they put that mindset in us. And so like democracy feels like it's one of the only ways to affect real change. And so we cling to this idea that we have to actually have we have to change everything. Like everyone's got to be communist, or everyone's got to be a capitalist, or everyone's got to be an anarchist, or everyone's got to be this, or no one will be safe. And I think that it really trips them up because we're okay with not being safe. Like, we kind of understand that we're not actually safe now, and we're not likely to be. I mean, like, we're not going to be safe then, and we're not any safer now than we will be then. In fact, like, the very bodies that are supposed to quote make us safe are some of the ones that are making us some of the most unsafe people at the moment. Uh, but I mean, you know, I spent 30 minutes bitching about this, and at the end, I was going to say, now, even though I really hate this debate when I'm having it with statists and stuff like that, I really love having this conversation amongst anarchists and stuff, especially when there's like, like freedom babes, or like baby freedom people. I don't know how to. I'm gonna work on that. I don't know what the fuck to call them. Like, the freedom curious, liberty curious is what I usually call them. Especially when the liberty curious are around, because then they can ask a bunch of questions, and we can try to, you know, oh yeah, no, I imagine, oh god, don't listen to me on two times because I probably do sound like a chipmunk. But anyways, I thought, like, maybe in the near future we might be able to host one of those where, like, we encourage like the liberty curious to come ask a bunch of fucking weird ass theoretical questions that we just have fun with. Or maybe I'll just go around on Twitter and collect some of the ones that I see the most or something and bring them back with me and we can play with them. That might be a really good discussion conversation. That being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this more relaxed kind of like stream of consciousness style episode that I've done tonight. Um, I don't, I don't think I do. Um, Probably not gonna do it quite like this again, but maybe. I mean, I could probably just improve on it and do it again. That being said, please make sure to try and check this out over on like D Live or Twitter. I mean, not Twitter, Twitch, or any of our other platforms, because we are starting to like get some followers over here on YouTube, and I don't know exactly how long they're gonna let us like slide under the radar here before they start dicking with us too. So it's time for us to start making preparations. Um, it's I don't know, it's getting kind of weird out there. Some days I'm like, well, maybe they've got like some sort of, like maybe we're just sliding through the cracks or whatever, but you can only do that for so long. So yeah, definitely try to get over and follow us on some of the other platforms we have on our link tree. That is down in the description if you're on YouTube. So you should be able to just click that and get a link to all of our stuff. Um, Also, like, we want the decentralization and everything like that. So YouTube is not the best place to be decentralized. We kind of like would like to see if we can't encourage people who are more interested in that sort of thing into doing that with us, and then we could use the YouTube channel to just like cast a line to outside sources, like people, we can share them easier so we can give it to like normies or whatever if we start eventually ever having clips again or something. um but yes, please also like, share, subscribe, I'm glad you liked it, Sasha. I do try to give um attention to people. Like if somebody says something relevant, I try to say something back. That's one of the things that I really like about the restream is that it pops up all of y'all's stuff on the side of the screen so people can actually see it no matter which platform you guys are on. So that's always really nice. It doesn't do float though. So unless I have um if I'm doing a single stream of thought style episode where I'm just talking to you guys and everything, it's very difficult for me to monitor the chat on float. But if we're in a group setting, it's a lot easier for me to monitor the chat on float. So uh, y'all may or may not get noticed if you say something over there. Um, yeah, Element is better for the PC if you ask me. I'm really preferring I'm kind of liking the heck out of Fluffy Chat, but I'm also trying out other things too that could change. Yeah, that one's Fluffy Chat. Fluffychat. Fluffy Chat. It's pretty cool. It sounds super cute. It's they say it's cute. I don't know if it's cute. I mean, it's a chat thing. There's not like hearts and kittens everywhere. I don't know what's cute about it, but I do like it. Matter most. I'll have to check that out too. Um, but the next time I do a mic drop, it's actually going to be about probably some decentralized stuff. Either that or I'm going to be rabid and screaming about people regulating each other's bodies or something. It's really hard for me to tell exactly what I'm going to talk about next on these things. I'm not going to lie. But I might be a little bit quiet this weekend because I'm going to be out. So you guys probably won't see me again until Sunday when we do our round table open discussion about property. And hopefully we'll have a decent turnout for that and it'll be fun. Until then, if you guys want to get involved here and help us do shows or whatever, or like help us do behind the scenes stuff, or get involved with like building freedom cells or whatever the heck it is you want to do with us, hit us up and we'll do it with you. I mean, unless you turn out to be like a total weirdo, like that Sasha person. They are so weird. I don't know if I could work with them ever. Like, I don't know. They're just totally fucking weird. Anyways, no, I'm just kidding, Sasha. I love you. Um, I hope that you guys take care of yourselves. Oh, and if you don't have time, you can give us money. Money is great. Money helps us to help the community. And like right now with our subscribe star as it is, we're already paying the bills. So we don't need help with that anymore at this point because people are amazing. But if you want to help us be able to rebuild the Liberty Fund and be able to help people doing all sorts of good stuff that we can see out there, then hit us up there. We take cash, we take credit, we take debit, we take crypto. The coin tree link down below is, well, if you're on YouTube, the coin tree link down below will take you there. If you're not, that's the coin tree link down below. You cannot click it, but you can. It's just coin tree. It's real simple. Anyways, you guys have a good night. I'm gonna get the fuck out of here. It was nice having this weird, slow, ample thought about how we don't need a society, and this debate is the dumbest debate. This episode of Mic Drops is adjourned. Fuck the government.